Hello everyone. This video is to serve the purpose of preparing an exam strategy for SNAP 2015. Let's first place SNAP. SNAP is coming probably 20 days after CAT and around 27-28 days after IFT. So we're done with two national level exams. Majority of the audience overlaps with NMAT takers also. So more or less we've taken three good national level exams. So ideally those exam jitters, those panics and something have all taken a back seat. Now the next thing, except for a GK which we have to keep ourselves updated, aptitude wise there's no visible handicap. The other two very good things which have loud and clearly been established per se as far as SNAP is concerned is the paper pattern and the cutoff pattern. Paper pattern is 30 questions of reasoning, all of which 2 markers. This becomes the most prominent section because this carries 60 marks weightage and this is not a really difficult section to crack. This reasoning under the umbrella has analytical reasoning, logical reasoning and verbal reasoning also. The next section, or rather the remaining 3 sections, which is verbal ability and RC, is 40 questions. Quantitative aptitude and DI is another 40 questions, and general knowledge and current awareness is another 40 questions. So that is 40, 40, 40 and 30 questions of reasoning, that is 150 questions, and 120 minutes is the time allotted to SNAP. That means it's undoubtedly a speed based exam, and in any speed based exam your discretion of finding easier questions or the questions which are going to consume lesser time, that discretion is going to help you the most, and the speed or the quickness that you demonstrate at a section level will take you the distance. The strategy as far as SNAP is concerned, the moment you get the paper, jump into GK, completely non-committal. Either I know the answer or I don't know the answer. There's absolutely nothing logical which I can do to find out an answer. So that particular section should get done in like what, 10 minutes? Fair enough. So 10 minutes allotted to GK, 40 questions of GK, either I know it or I don't know it, and I put in the required effort for preparing, because one thing I know is that if I'm able to get a 15 to 20 marks out of GK, I got that by just investing 5 to 6 minutes. No other section can give me such a wonderful return on time investment. So that's something which we've understood. So GK, important, but you can help it only to a certain extent. So you're done with the first 5-7 minutes of the paper and you're done with GK. You have a playground of aptitude with you right now, with 40 questions of quant and DI, 40 questions of verbal and RC, and 30 questions of reasoning. I told you that the backbone is reasoning, so it's better you start with that section because it's so necessary that we get a decent score out of this section. And when I say decent, it's approximately 50 marks, which is around 25 questions out of the 30. It might seem a little difficult thing to do, but let's assess a little bit more. 30 questions of reasoning till about last year were around 20-21 questions of analytical or logical reasoning. When I say 20-21 questions, that depends on a breakup of puzzles and arrangement, coding, decoding, blood relations, data structures, or these kind of questions, that is sequence and series, all of which either analytical reasoning or logical reasoning. Apart from that, the remaining 9 questions were either critical reasoning based on strength and assumption, or strengthening the argument, weakening the argument, statement assumption, statement course of action, those kind of verbal reasoning based questions, which is the remaining 9. What is distinct to observe is that over the last 5 editions, there have been no really difficult questions in these 30 questions. So people who are prepared for CAT generally are able to crack this section well. And in case you are one of those students who are targeting an SIBM Pune or an SCM HRD, you probably, going by the past trends, will have to hit a score of around 100 and something. In that condition, scoring a 50 odd marks in this reasoning section is something that nearly becomes a thumb rule. From there we move to the next two sections, quantitative aptitude and DI. Data interpretation was more or less namesake last year with just one set of 5 questions, and data sufficiency wasn't even present there. The remaining 35 questions of quant were spread very nicely across arithmetic, algebra, geometry mensuration and modern maths. And when I say modern maths, I mean topics like progression, set theory, log, functions, inequalities, permutation, combination, probability, such kind of topics. More or less because all the topics were present in representative amounts, a good preparation of CAT or an IFT or an NMAT, you will be able to do good justice on the day of snap to this particular section. Ideally, people who are targeting this SIBM Pune, SCM-HRD cloud end up getting a score of something like 24-25 out of these 40 questions at least. The next section is verbal and RC put together. RC sees a very less weightage and vocabulary weightage increases drastically as far as SNAP is concerned. Only 9 questions of RCs are visible last year and approximately 14-15 questions out of 40 were vocabulary based. So when you come to think of it, this demands preparation. So I'm just hoping that you've prepared enough as far as vocabulary is concerned and you're equipped enough to crack the paper of SNAP. Overall, because it's not a heavy critical reasoning or a logical continuation or a parajumbles based section, the whole of verbal section except RC is literally non-time consuming. So if you try to target more than one question a minute, you will be successfully able to do it in verbal ability as well as in the GK section, and hence we call it a speed based paper and we'll be able to crack it much easier. Going back one step and a general bird's eye view, we are starting with GK, getting done with it quickly. We are moving to reasoning, getting a healthy score of a 50 odd because we need it. Next we are moving into quant and verbal sections and trying to get a score of around 25 odd out of 40. That makes it a 50, 25, 25, that's a 100, which over the last 5 to 6 editions of SNAP will be a decent enough score to get you in the range of a 99 percentile. A 99 percentile should fetch you the maximum number of calls to nearly all the institutes that you apply to, which are affiliated to the SIU, which is Symbiosis International University. Now GK, whatever that you get, is a bonus. Also, it's said because it's a race or it's a speed driven exam, don't relax at all. You'll ideally know a lot of questions, go aggressive solving more questions. The range of institutes affiliated to a SNAP is huge. So there's an SIBM Pune, there's an SCM-HRD, there's an SIBM Bangalore, there's an SIIB Pune, then there's an SIOM in Nashik, then there is an SITM and SCIT, both of them based out of Pune, SIMS, SIMC. So it's a wide range of colleges, and because it's a wide range, every additional mark that you score or every small sprint that you run, you will understand that you will be securing one more additional call for just that incremental increase as far as your performance is concerned. Overall, one more thing which is said is that in a SNAP paper, what is more important is that you should know exactly what are the questions you know that you can solve quickly versus I know this but it will take time, I know this, it will not take time, I know this, I can solve it instantaneously. This decision, if you look at the paper and you get it instantly, it just means you will be able to increase your score just by categorizing these questions into different parts, and you'll be able to rush through the paper. So it's not like a marathon that you're running on the day of SNAP, it's those smaller sprints that you're running that gives you the ultimate result. Best of luck for a wonderful exam and see you on the other side of it. Best wishes.